ladies and gentlemen. Stephen here from Redolessence, and welcome back to another video. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And before I start, I just want to apologize because this is like my ninth or 10th time shooting this video. This is not a hyperbole. I am not exaggerating. I actually feel a little bit under the weather today. I ended up taking a sick day yesterday because I woke up and my throat was on fire. And so I'm still feeling that way. As a matter of fact, today I feel worse than I did yesterday, but I toughed it out and I went to work today and I fulfilled my obligations. And that's one of the reasons why I'm shooting this video too, because I feel as though I have an obligation for my subscribers. I know I mentioned that with the creation of these fragrances, I wanted to take my subscribers along with it every step of the way so that you guys are also kept abreast and you're in the know and you're informed as to what the process was like from beginning to end. And so what I would like to do in this video is I would like to take a moment to reveal the note breakdown for one fragrance that will be part of my upcoming brand. And this is a fragrance that was actually composed by Bertrand Duchaufour. And so I actually have the laboratory style bottle in front of me here. And as you can tell, I've actually worn quite a bit of this. Now, it's never full when you receive it. It's always about this full, not to the tippy top, but even then I've worn a considerable amount of this. And of course, it goes without saying that the reason why I've worn so much is because I want to test it to ensure that it's ready to go for its upcoming release, but also because I love the smell. And there's never been a time when I looked at this bottle, I thought about the way that it smelled, I was reminded of the way that it smelled, and I said, I'm not in the mood to wear that one today. I've always been in the mood to wear this one, and that's the case with all of the fragrances that I will be releasing. But again, smell is subjective, and so I always encourage my subscribers to go out there, try it for yourself, sample first, and let that be the determination as to whether or not you want to commit to a full bottle. But I have a really strong feeling that you will love these, and they definitely resonate with my personal taste. I can only hope that that's the case with you as well. I also want to take a moment to thank all of you for helping me reach a huge milestone on the Redolessence channel. I recently hit 100,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. I mean, I know I'm not really one to celebrate these kinds of milestones, and in the past, I've always enjoyed reaching them. But as of late, I don't really view a number as being validation for my self-worth. It's really cool that I was able to reach this milestone, but at the same time, it's more about delivering value, more about creating content that you guys resonate with, and more about teaching my subscribers something and educating you so that you learn something that you didn't know prior to the start of this video. And so for as long as I'm able to do that, and for as long as I'm able to, in words, translate smells that you didn't have an opportunity to try yet, I feel as though I've done my job. And so thank you so much for supporting me. And thank you for all of the warm wishes on social media, Instagram, Facebook. I mean, my mother read a lot of the comments too. My wife read all of the comments. And thank you all so much for all of the kind words. Thank you for being so supportive. It really means the whole world to me. So again, this is a gourmand fragrance, and it was awesome because I was reading through my comments and so many of my subscribers said, I bet you he's going to make a gourmand fragrance. And you guys know that I have a proclivity for sweet scents. However, my desire in creating this fragrance, and of course I'm not the one who created it, master perfumer Bertrand Duchaufour created it out of France. But my desire for creating this fragrance was to create something that's completely unique, completely new, doesn't smell like anything else on the market, but also isn't overly sweet to the point where the wearability of the fragrance is compromised. I have a lot of really sweet fragrances in my arsenal, so to speak. One of them, which is discontinued unfortunately, is Blue Sugar by Aquilina. As much as I really like the way that that fragrance smells, and I find it to be super unique, and I can't compare it to anything else on the market, the fragrance itself smells like cotton candy. I don't feel super comfortable wearing that to work. It's also not very classy or sophisticated or polished or refined. In my opinion, it's more of like a novelty scent. I also have some chocolate heavy offerings that I would throw into a similar category. And so in creating this fragrance, I wanted to create a gourmand fragrance where the versatility and the wearability of it is not compromised. So let's go ahead and get into the note breakdown. In the top of this fragrance, you have almond, saffron, and cinnamon. In the mid of this fragrance, you have apple and toffee. And in the base of this fragrance, you have ambergris, oak moss, caramel, chocolate, driftwood, and musk. So as you can already tell, there are a lot of gourmand ingredients in there. You have the apple, the toffee, the caramel, the chocolate, the cinnamon, the almond, and it's a little spicy on account of the saffron. One of the things that I personally love the most, and I can only speak for myself, right? One of the things that I love the most about this fragrance is the texture that it conveys. So I do have synesthesia, which is a neurological condition, and oftentimes I experience a sensory overlap. So sometimes when I smell fragrances, I also see certain colors, or I visualize certain shapes, or I can sort of visualize certain textures. And with this one, it has a very smooth but also leather-like texture that I pick up on. And I feel as though a lot of that is due to the note of saffron. Saffron is actually used, or saffronol is used in the synthesis of a lot of leather accords. And I also get a little bit of that oak moss in the base that just creates a really nice earthiness to the composition. However, don't be fooled. This fragrance is all about the gourmand ingredients. And of course, in creating this one, I mentioned I didn't want the versatility to be compromised. So this one doesn't smell juvenile or puerile. It doesn't smell overly sweet. It's not cloying in my opinion, and it won't choke people out. As soon as you spray it on, you are going to get a note that is not listed in the note breakdown. And there's one ingredient that's actually creating this smell, a smell that gives off the aroma of almond, but also of cherry. And so I get a very strong cherry note in the opening, and then I get this almondy nuance that I am completely in love with. Now, it doesn't smell like other fragrances that are on the market. So something like a Dulce Aqua by Profumum Roma, or Hypnotic Poison by Dior. And again, my mission in releasing this was to create something that doesn't smell like anything else, but it opens up with this really unique and original, in my opinion, again, a cherry note compounded with almond, a little bit of cinnamon to create a spicy edge, but it eventually transitions into like this delicious red apple note with toffee. And even though you're still in the mid, and this is a very non-linear scent, and so it actually changes up quite a bit throughout the entire progression, but you have this, I want to say it's like 70% caramel, 30% chocolate. I am so excited for you to smell this fragrance. You have no idea. So I actually did several control groups just with very close friends of mine, reviewers in the community who actually lived like 20 or 30 minutes away. They showed up, they had an opportunity to smell these fragrances, and this is one that resonated with them right off the bat. And so I knew that because this was one of the initial batches that I received from Bertrand Duchaufour, and we made some tweaks and some variations, and we played around with diminishing the almond note and increasing some of the green earthier notes in the base. But ultimately, this is the variant that we chose to go with. There were a lot of tweaks and mods that this had to undergo in order for it to become what it ultimately became. And so I want to thank the perfumer. Obviously, his name will be credited in the composition, but also in the presentation of this fragrance. And so you will see that when you do down the line, if you wish to purchase this fragrance, you will see that all of the perfumers' names will be incorporated into the presentation, not in a Frederick Mall kind of way, but in a new way, something that I think is pretty unique. So, anyways, not revealing too much, and I also don't want this video to get too long because I know you have other things to do in your busy life. But I do want to thank you so much for taking a moment and watching this video. I can't tell you how much it means to me. Thank you again for helping me reach that milestone. And also, if you are new to this channel and you would like to be kept abreast of what this project was like, and just all of the trials and tribulations that I've endured in the past 18 months, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I would love your subscription. Thanks again for watching. I love you all dearly, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.